Bir Protik Gazi Setu over Shitalaka River brings about drastic changes in living standard and communication network in Narayanganj. President Mohammad Shahabuddin goes to Pabna tomorrow to inaugurate construction work of 500-bed hospital. President Mohammad Shahabuddin administers oath of office to new Chief Justice al-aqsa. The United States imposes sanctions while BNP issues threat, says al-Qadir. BNP is insignificant in geopolitical context. Media persons consider U.S. visa sanctions on mass media as an interference on press freedom, says Dr. Hassan Mahmoud. The first American-made Abrams tanks delivered to Ukraine, commander of Russia's Black Sea Fleet killed in missile attack, claims Ukraine. And New Zealand clinched UASVs by 2-0, beating Bangladesh by 7 wickets in third and last match. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to News at 10. I'm Ubi Islam with you tonight. You just heard the headlines. Now, moving on to the details.
বাংলাদেশ তার সকল প্রতিবেশী দেশের সঙ্গে সৎ প্রতিবেশী সুলভ সম্পর্ক প্রতিষ্ঠার চেষ্টা চালিয়ে যাবে, যে সম্পর্কের ভিত্তি হবে শান্তিপূর্ণ সহাবস্থান, পরস্পরের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও আঞ্চলিক অখণ্ডতার প্রতি সম্মান প্রদর্শন এবং একে অন্যের আভ্যন্তরীণ বিষয়ে হস্তক্ষেপ না করা। বিশ্বের এই এলাকায় এবং সর্বত্র শান্তি প্রতিষ্ঠা ও অক্ষুণ্ণ রাখার প্রতি প্রচেষ্টায় আমাদের সমর্থন অব্যাহত থাকবে।
The Bir Protik Gazi Setu over the Shitalaka River in Narayanganj has changed the communication network in Rupganj Upazila drastically. The structure has connected Rupganj Upazila to Purbachol in Dhaka. Bir Protik Gazi Setu has reduced distance between Dhaka and Sylhet and Dhaka Chattogram. In addition, this bridge has been playing roles in improving quality of living standards of several lakh people in the Upazila. Talking to BTV local members of parliament, also Textiles and Jute Minister Golam Dastakir Gazi Bir Protik said the bridge helps expand trade and business to a great extent. Before construction of the Bir Protik Gazi Setu, several lakh people off the two banks of the Shitalaka River were almost isolated. They had to suffer a lot while crossing the river by ferries. The 576-meter long bridge was constructed in Murapara Union Porishad of the Upazila at a cost of Taka 74 crore 9 lakh and 95,000. Prime Minister Sheikh inaugurated the Bir Protik Gazi Setu in Rupganj Upazila of Narayanganj in November 2020. President Mohammad Shahabuddin will leave Dhaka for his hometown Pabna on a 3-day visit tomorrow afternoon. This will be his second visit to Pabna district after taking oath as the president of the country. During the visit, the president will deliver his speech at a public gathering and enjoy a boat race at Shatia Upazila and also inaugurate the construction work of the 500-bed hospital in the Pabna Medical College. Besides, President Mohammad Shahabuddin will exchange views with a cross-section of people. The president is scheduled to return to Dhaka on September 29. Justice Obaidul Hassan took oath as the 24th Chief Justice of Bangladesh today. President Mohammad Shahabuddin administered the oath of office of Justice Obaidul Hassan as the Chief Justice at Darbar Hall of Bongo Bhavan this morning. President's wife, Dr. Rebecca Sultana, family members and Speaker Dr. Shirin Sharmin Chaudhary were present.
আমি ওবায়দুল হাসান সশ্রদ্ধ চিত্তে শপথ করিতেছি যে আমি আইন অনুযায়ী ও বিশ্বস্ততার সহিত আমার পদের কর্তব্য পালন করিব। আমি বাংলাদেশের প্রতি অকৃত্রিম বিশ্বাস ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি বাংলাদেশের সংবিধান ও আইনের রক্ষণ সমর্থন ও নিরাপত্তা বিধান করিব। এবং আমি ভীতি বা অনুগ্রহ অনুরাগ বা বিরাগের বশবর্তী না হইয়া সকলের প্রতি আইন অনুযায়ী যথাবিহিত আচরণ করিব।
Deputy Leader of Parliament, Cabinet members, advisor to the Prime Minister, former Chief Justice, family members of the Chief Justice, Supreme Court judges, Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister and high civil and military officials were also present. Cabinet Secretary Mohammad Mahbub Hussain conducted the oath-taking ceremony. Army General Secretary and Road Transport and Bridges Minister Obaidul Qadir said the United States imposes sanctions while BNP threatens to impose sanctions. He said Bangladesh will go following the constitution. It will not accept sanctions imposed by other countries. Obaidul Qadir made the comment while addressing the Peace and Development Rally organized by Dhaka District Army League in Kiraniganj today.
যুক্তরাষ্ট্র আর নিষেধাজ্ঞার ভয় দেখায় মির্জাপুর। আশ্চর্য কথা, আমেরিকা মতো তার এজেন্সি নিষেধাজ্ঞা ভয় দেখা, নিষেধাজ্ঞায় ভেনিজুয়েলায় সরকারের পতন হয়। পাল্টা সরকার চেষ্টা করেও বসাতে পারেনি। ওয়াশিংটনের নিষেধাজ্ঞা ইসরায়েল ফিলিস্তিনের এই দখলদারি আর হত্যাকাণ্ড তো বন্ধ পারেননি। রাশিয়া ইউক্রেন যুদ্ধ বন্ধ করতে পারেন। আমাদের ৭১ নিষেধাজ্ঞা দিয়ে থামাতে পারেননি। আজও নিষেধাজ্ঞা দিয়ে শেখ হাসিনা বাংলাদেশকে থামানো যাবে না। আমরা কারো নিষেধাজ্ঞা পরোয়া করি না।
Addressing the rally, Obaidul Qadir said Army League will conduct counterattacks if any of its partymen is attacked.
২০০১ সাল ভুলে যান, আওয়ামী লীগের কর্মীদের কারো বাড়িতে কারো গায়ে আঘাত লাগলে পাল্টা আঘাত করা কোন অবস্থাতেই এবার ছাড় নেই। আমরা শপথ নিয়েছি ঢাকা শহর দখল করবে। আমরা প্রস্তুত আছি, দেখি ঢাকা শহর কেন দখল করে। ঢাকা শহর নয়, বাংলাদেশ কাদের দখলে থাকে? লাল সবুজের পতাকা।
Presided over by President of Dhaka District Army League Benazir Ahmed, the meeting was also addressed by President Member of Army League Kamrul Hassan, Joint General Secretaries Mahbubul Alam Hanif and AFM Bahauddin Nasim, Organizing Secretary Mirza Azam, State Minister for Power, Fuel and Mineral Resources Nasul Hamid and State Minister for Disaster Management and Relief Enamur Rahman. Information and Broadcasting Minister and Army League Joint General Secretary Dr. Hassan Mahmood has said BNP is insignificant like the third kid of a goat in geopolitical background. He said country's journalists maintained that applying the U.S. visa policy on the mass media tantamount to interference with an independent mass media. Dr. Hassan Mahmoud said this as he spoke at the triennial conference of Rajshahi district and Rajshahi city Army Jubilee at Pathanpara in Rajshahi today.
আপনারা কোন আওয়ামী লীগ নেতাকে ভিসা দিলেন কিংবা দিলেন না, কোন বিএনপি নেতাকে ভিসা দিলেন কি দিলেন না, এতে কিছু আসে যায় না, আমরা কিছু মনে করি না, এটি আপনাদের ব্যাপার। খেলা বলুন, আমরা সেখানে যাব, আমরা আওয়ামী লীগ যাব না, যুবলীগকে পাঠাবো ফাইনালে খেলার জন্য। আমাদের ফার্স্ট টিম পাঠাবো না, সেকেন্ড টিম পাঠাবো।
Speaking at the conference, Jubilee chairman Sheikh Fazle Shams Parosh said that all must stay united to resist BNP Jamaat.
একটা হচ্ছে স্বাধীনতার বিপক্ষের শক্তি বিএনপি জামাত খুনি চক্র, এবং দ্বিতীয় শত্রু কিন্তু আমরা নিজেরাই। আমাদের নিজেদের নিষ্ক্রিয়তা, আমাদের নিজেদের অলসতা, আমাদের নিজেদের অনৈক্য, আমাদের ব্যক্তিগত লোভ লালসা হিংসা প্রতিহিংসা আমাদের প্রধান শত্রু।
The conference was also addressed by President of Rajshahi Army League and Army League Presidium member AHM Khairuzaman Liton, Organizing Secretary of Army League SM Kamal Hussain, General Secretary of Jubilee League Mainul Hussain Khan Nikhil, and President of Rajshahi City Jubilee League Ramjan Ali. Now, international news. The first American-made Abrams tanks have been delivered to Ukraine, President Vladimir Zelensky said on Monday, arriving months ahead of initial estimates and in time to be used in Kyiv's counter-offensive against Russian forces. More M1 Abrams tanks will be sent in the coming months, according to two U.S. defense officials who spoke on condition of anonymity because they weren't authorized to speak publicly. Meanwhile, Ukraine's special forces said that the commander of Russia's Black Sea Fleet, Admiral Viktor Sokolov, and 33 other officers were killed in a Ukrainian missile attack on the fleet's headquarters in the Crimean port of Sevastopol last week. Ukraine's claim to have killed one of Russia's most senior Navy officers came as Russian authorities said on Monday that air defense systems and had repelled another Ukrainian missile attack on Sevastopol in the Russian-annexed Crimean Peninsula. An explosion at a field depot in Nagorno-Karabakh has killed 20 people and injured hundreds more, local Armenian authorities say. Nearly 300 people were admitted to hospitals, with dozens of them still in critical condition. It comes as the Armenian government said more than 13,000 refugees had crossed into the country from the enclave. Petrol stations were overwhelmed as thousands tried to leave the region, which was already suffering from a fuel shortage following a months-long blockade. Meanwhile, envoys from Armenia and Azerbaijan are due to meet for EU-backed talks in Brussels later on Tuesday, the first such talk since the seizure of the Nagorno-Karabakh. U.S. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller urged the two sides to reach a lasting peace agreement. South Korea on Tuesday staged its first military parade in a decade, showcasing its advanced arsenal in the face of plummeting ties with nuclear-armed North Korea. Pyongyang regularly puts on huge military parade, but such events in Seoul are traditionally arranged every 5 years to mark South Korea's Armed Forces Day. On a rain-soaked afternoon, around 6,700 troops marched through central Seoul, cheered by umbrella-bearing crowds who waved South Korean flags. They were accompanied by 340 pieces of military equipment, including gear and sea drones, tanks and missiles. South Korean President Yoon Suk-yeol watched the parade from a platform, applauding troops as they marched past. The parade comes as President Yoon Suk-yeol takes a more muscular approach to dealing with North Korea, which has conducted dozens of banned weapons tests this year, as well as launching what it said was a nuclear attack submarine and trying to put a military spy satellite into orbit. Russia is seeking to rejoin the United Nations Human Rights Council in an election that will be seen as a key test of its international standing. It was expelled from the UN's preeminent human rights body last April after its forces invaded Ukraine. But now Russian diplomats are seeking to get their country re-elected to the council for a fresh 3-year term. The vote will take place next month. In the document circulated among the UN members, Russia promises to find adequate solutions for human rights issues and seeks to stop the Council becoming an instrument which serves political wills of one group of countries, understood to be a reference to the West. Now some other international news in brief. U.S. President Joe Biden will join the picket line with striking auto workers on a historic trip to Michigan later today, putting him on a collision course with likely 2024 election rival Donald Trump, who visits a day later. South Korea is hosting a rare meeting with senior diplomats from Japan and China. The foreign ministry said the three-way talks are seen as an attempt to ease Beijing's concerns over Washington's deepening security ties with Tokyo and Seoul.
Of the three countries.
Fighters loyal to the Syrian government have clashed with Kurdish-led forces in mainly Arab district of eastern Syria, leaving 25 people dead in 2 days, the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said Tuesday.
Saudi Arabia is calling Monday.
Saudi Arabia on Tuesday condemned an attack on its territory that killed 2 Bahraini military personnel near the border with war-torn Yemen.
Ports which are under the control of the Houthis, controlled by the Houthis, but which is also
actually growing in Antarctica. Why?
Bringing a pop of color and a promise of spring flowers are usually a welcome sight, but not in Antarctica. Experts describe that accelerated growth of the flowers in Antarctica's South Orkney Islands due to climate change as a tipping point.
Adaptations that scientists are currently grappling with. Marvel at the enduring mystery of blooming flowers in Antarctica.
There is no symptom of improvement in the dengue situation across the country, as over 3,000 have been infected and 15 died during last 24 hours. A press release of the Director General of Health Services said among the deaths, 5 were in Dhaka and 10 were outside Dhaka. 3,123 dengue patients were admitted to different hospitals across the country during the last 24 hours. Among them, 774 dengue patients were hospitalized in Dhaka city and 2,349 patients outside Dhaka. Meanwhile, no one died of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours. The country reported 7 COVID-19 positive cases as 648 tested in the last 24 hours. Corona infection rate was reported at 1.08%. Now, news on weather. Met Office in its weather forecast till 6 p.m. tomorrow said light to moderate rain or temporary gusty wind is likely to occur at a few places over Rajshahi, Rangpur and Chattogram divisions, at 1 or 2 places over Dhaka, Khulna, Borishal, Mymensingh and Sylhet divisions. Besides, moderately heavy falls also likely to occur at places over northern part of the country. Day and night temperature may remain nearly unchanged over the country, said the Met Office. Now, news on sports. New Zealand defeated Bangladesh by 7 wickets in the last ODI of the 3-match series and won the series by 2-0 in Maypur. Batting first after winning the toss, Bangladesh were bowled out for just 171 runs in 34 overs, 3 balls. Nazmul Hossain Shantu scored 76 runs for the team. In reply, New Zealand reached their victory target and scored 175 runs for 3 wickets in 34 overs, 5 balls. Will Young scored 70 and Henry Nicholls scored an unbeaten 50. The first match of the series was abandoned due to rain. Tamim Iqbal has been left out of the 15-man squad while Bangladesh Cricket Board BCB declared the Tigers ODI team for the upcoming World Cup in India. Mahmudullah Riyad has been included to the squad. Saqib Al-Hassan will lead the Bangladesh team while Nazmul Hassan Shanto is the vice-captain. Instead of Tamim, another Tamim named Tanzid Hassan Tamim got a chance in the opening position. Young fast bowler Tanzim Hassan Saqib also has been included. The other members of the team are Liton Kumar Dash, Tauhid Ridoy, Mushfiqur Rahim, Mehdi Hassan Miraj, Nasim Ahmed, Sheikh Mehdi Hassan, Taskin Ahmed, Mustafizur Rahman, Hassan Mahmood and Shariful Islam. The Bangladesh team will reach in Guwahati tomorrow to take part in the World Cup. The Tigers will play a warm-up match against Sri Lanka on September 29 and against England on October 2nd. To end the bulletin, headlines once again. The Gazi Setu over Shitalaka River brings about drastic changes in living standard and communication network in Narayanganj. President Mohammad Shahabuddin goes to Pabna tomorrow to inaugurate construction work of 500-bed hospital. President Mohammad Shahabuddin administers oath of office to new Chief Justice Obaidul Hassan. The United States imposes sanctions while BNT issues threat, says Obaidul Qadir. BNP is insignificant in geopolitical context. Media persons consider US visa sanctions on mass media as an interference on press freedom, says Dr. Hassan Mahmood. The first American-made Abrams tanks delivered to Ukraine, commander of Russia's Black Sea Fleet killed in missile attack, claims Ukraine. And New Zealand clinched ODI series by 2-0, beating Bangladesh by 7 wickets in third and last match. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us, and we